What is going on guys, Miles here, and in this video we'll be looking at some recent patch notes for COD WWII as well as some secret weapon changes which weren't actually mentioned. Alright, let's start with the patch notes, and the first one is for the Airborne division, and they buffed the perk which allows you to sprint faster over time. Previously you sprinted faster starting from 4% and going up to 10%, but now you start sprinting 7% faster and it can go up to 10%. And the reason they did this is because the energetic basic training is a flat 7% faster, so this should make the Airborne perk actually useful now. The Saboteur basic training has been nerfed when you're using Satchel or an S-Mine, as previously for the Satchel there was a 0-second fuse, but now there is a half-second fuse for this equipment, so that's going to be a little less powerful now. And also for the S-Mine, previously there was a 0.1 second delay for detonation, and that has been increased to 0.2, so a very small change for the S-Mine, but I think those equipment were very strong anyway, and I'm kind of glad to see them nerfed. Moving on, the rifle grenade attachment has seen a buff. Previously the minimum damage it could do was 25 and now it's 35, and the maximum damage it could do was 120 but now it's 125, so that is quite a big buff to the rifle grenade attachment in my opinion, and I'm not a fan of that attachment, and I didn't think it really needed to be buffed because it's a noob tube. It shouldn't really be very strong in my opinion, so I'm kind of worried about this change to be honest, but I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. There has been another buff to rifles in general, as there is now a bonus for the Bayonet attachment where you get a 4% bonus sprint speed, which isn't a lot, but I guess it's alright to be honest, but I still think not many people will use this attachment. The tactical knife for pistols has been buffed as well, as now you melee 15% faster with this thing, and they buffed it because not many people were using this attachment at all, especially after the big update where it takes up an attachment slot rather than being a part of the resistance division, so I guess this change is fair enough. They also buffed the launch basic training, as now if you have it equipped you now deal 30% more damage with launchers, which I think is a good change overall because launchers were very weak previously, especially if you're trying to shoot them at other players. Like if someone had the armored division and you shot a launcher at them, it was practically impossible to kill them if they were at full health, so I'm glad to see this buffed. And finally, the Shifty basic training has been buffed a bit as well. Previously it only gave one additional pistol attachment, but now you get 2 additional pistol attachments, which I guess is actually pretty cool, and you can probably get a pretty beefy pistol if you use this basic training. So they were all of the changes to weapon attachments, basic trainings and divisions. Now we can look at some weapon changes which weren't actually mentioned in the patch notes. Starting off, the Incendiary Shells have been nerfed, as the rechamber time has increased from 400 milliseconds to 800 milliseconds, which is a pretty big nerf, but I think it was more of a bug previously where you got a really high rate of fire when using Incendiary Shells, so I guess we could have expected this thing to be nerfed eventually. Sledgehammer also finally buffed the Gpmg light machine gun. I've been waiting for this for a while because I did feel like this was maybe like one of the worst guns in the game if you ignore some of the shotguns out there, because this thing had the magazine size of an assault rifle. It holds 30 bullets, but it has the reload time of a light machine gun. Its reload time was 5.2 seconds, but they've buffed it, so now the reload time is only 2.5 seconds, which I'm very happy to see. The Kar98k has seen a nerf, as the raise time has been increased from 400 milliseconds to 500 milliseconds, and I felt like this change was a little bit unnecessary. I felt like the Kar98k was a pretty good sniper rifle, yeah, but I did feel like the Type 38 was a little bit better, so I'm kind of surprised to see the Kar98 nerfed, but then the Type 38 unchanged. The ITRA burst has seen another nerf, as the burst delay has been increased from 135 milliseconds to 145. This is a pretty small change, that's less than a 10% increase, but I felt like the ITRA burst wasn't an amazing rifle in the game. Honestly, I felt like weapons like the Volk are better than the ITRA, so once again I'm kind of surprised to see it nerfed, and I don't think it was that necessary. And the final weapon change is for the MG81, as the raise time has been reduced from 1.85 seconds to 1.25. Not sure what effect this will have on the weapon. I don't think it's going to become amazing or anything, but I guess it's an alright change. But there we have it, they were all of the changes made to multiplayer in the recent patch for Call of Duty World War II. Shout out to Lacking a Good Name on Reddit who found the hidden changes to the Gpmg, the Kar98, the ITRA, the MG81 as well as the Incendiary Shells. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty, but I'll see you guys in another video.